give me fire, give me that which I desire.
All right, welcome back to Wind Tunnel TV. Tonight, it's the RGR Racing League with their ACS Truck Series. And we can't wait to get out of the Itsy Bitsy 200 here from Martinsville. I'm Dean Doucette, joined as always by Mr. Baron Labosco. Also, Mr. Brandon Bass up in the booth tonight. Baron, gonna be a good one. An old favorite, the paperclip.
Love the paperclip in Martinsville. It's an amazing racetrack. These truckers are going to get it on tonight at the Itsy Bitsy 200. The Spider sat beside her, right, Dean? So tonight, look for these guys, tight corners, loose trucks coming on, exit of these turns. Track position is going to mean the world to these guys tonight because passing's a premium, Dean.
Yeah, gonna be a premium. Of course, Brandon, you got experience in this series, actually. What are you looking forward to here? What do you think these guys have to do?
We're going to have to be patient. Track camp's up tonight, so tires are going to be a little slick. They're going to have to take care of them, take care of each other if they're going to have a chance to be there at the end.
Yeah, absolutely correct. They will. They have to take care of each other out there. I love that. You know, Baron, we'll take a look in here on the points in a minute, and we're only on race 3 here, so points really not that relevant here. But at a pace like Martinsville, you can lose it all, much like A-Bear just did right there.
James Airbear in the spin cycle right now, and it's only under practice. So as the track rubbers up a little bit here, Dean, I think we're going to see some more grip file in. But you got to be careful, especially in the early laps. Too heavy of a right foot, and she's going to go around like a top, like you just saw the 25.
Yeah, it certainly will. Right now, it looks like Newton out front in the points. Ripka, McMillin, Williams. And Claus got the win last week, I believe. Hund in 5th. Person, Gay. Jason Jackson, good finish last week. A-Bear. And Gilly, who almost pulled off his first win just a couple of weeks ago. We'll see what he can do out here. You can find your favorite driver down in the standings. Like I said, really early to be thinking about it, but you always got to think championship, don't you, Brandon?
Yeah, the season starts from race 1, so if you want to go for that championship, you got to start counting points from the get-go.
That you do, there's no doubt about it. As these guys are wrapping up their practice, ready to go, we ask everybody to rise up for the singing of the national anthem by the beautiful Alicia Shipman.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the lands of the free and the home of the brave?
All right, let's go racing here in the Itsy Bitsy 200. Everybody up and ready to start this thing off. Greg Ratliff, your pole sitter tonight with Ripka, Buck, Hund, Williams, Mankowski, Person, Travis, Leal, and Gay in the top 10. A little further back, Gilly, Spear, Leal, that's George Leal, Daniel Blau, Newton, Abear, Rincon, Jackson, Dibble, and Tony Ratliff in your top 20.
Dean, an amazing race. I can't wait to get this one on. Pace truck's going to pull off. Let's light the fires.
Let's do this thing. Martinsville, a favorite of everybody until it isn't. So this guy's got to get through about 5 or 10 laps here, get strung out a bit. Should be a good one if they can do that. Here we go. The ACS Itsy Bitsy 200.
Green, green, green.
Everybody off to a good start there through corner 1. Up front, Ripka challenging.
On the backstretch, Dean. I get a couple trucks all tore up there, but they're still going. We're under green still.
All right, survival here. Looks like maybe at the very back there, maybe Whiting involved in that. Up front, Ratliff holding off here. The challenge from Lance Ripka.
Wasting no time. Lap 2, trying to take the lead here away from Ratliff. Ripka's here on the prowl.
He is. Ripka trying to rock that high side. Just could not make it work. It works for a little bit, but the low line where you want to be. Everybody lined up here. So this is kind of Martinsville here. When we look at this track, Brandon, and caution on the track, Stevie Knight here at the back of the field. The 86 machine. Hopefully just did a self spin here. Not seeing anybody else in it.
I think he might have been alone here, Dean.
So him and Abear is underneath. Abear not doing much. He's coming up and he gets him. So Abear gets into him there. And around he goes. Didn't touch nothing though. Truck's going to be okay.
Charged with an improper touching right there, Dean.
Oh, we don't like improper touching.
And ask Stevie Knight. He'd probably agree with you right now.
Yes, well, we'll have a therapy session later, but all seems well right now. It's early. Don't like to see him early, but that's kind of a product, Brandon. You get around Martinsville like this, it's really touchy, if you will.
Yeah, super touchy, especially late in the run. Everybody trying to get everything they can. They're going to start moving these fellas up out their groove a little bit to start advancing position.
So Ratliff got himself a good start there. I mean, not really a great launch off the start. He battled for it, but he held in there good. And how important is that to maintain track position here, Baron?
Well, it's critical. It's everything, Dean. And so when you talk about Martinsville, it's a great track, but you also talk about the history of the conflict that comes along with this track as well. The Cup drivers strive for that grandfather clock, but they're fighting each other as often as they're winning. So tonight, as Brandon said earlier, they got to take care of each other, Dean, and track position's a premium. So taking care of each other also means a bit of co-opetition, right? And so you're going to see some bumpers, and you're going to see some dives and improper touches as we move along through the event.
You know, I always think of Jerry Springer when he told me to take care of each other, but that's another story for another night. Brandon, this clock, this grandfather clock that you can win here, would you like it more than a regular trophy?
I don't know. It makes for a nice trophy to make the wife happy, I guess. You'd like to put it out front of the front room and everything for everybody to see, but it's pretty prestigious, though. I have to say, I'd like to have that thing.
I tell you, I only want one. Baron, I like to have about 6 or 7 of them. I put them all right back to back.
I take that just like whiskey.
As much as
6
you
to
can get.
7 back to back. Let's do this.
All right, here we go. Ratliff, Ripka, Buck up here with Hund, Williams in person. Green flag down and away, and it's another start. Looked like he went on green here, so Ratliff not getting an advantage here on these restarts. Looks like Hund on the outside here, the 53. That's Buck down on the low side.
Plenty of room here for Ripka to slide into second place, so if he's faster, he's going to have to be a little more patient tonight.
These guys continue 2 by 2 back here. Looks like Hunt really doing a good job on the high side. This is probably hurting both of them here. Hunt whipping around that high side. He's going to take this spot. So how about Hunt on the high side here, Brandon?
You keep that inside line locked down, they can't get that good drive off. It might be the way to go for gaining position tonight.
Yeah, it just might, Baron. I mean, is this something that you see at a track like Martinsville quite often?
Yeah, for sure. And, I mean, really any track, but Martinsville really highlights that because of its short track nature. It's flat, so yes, for sure.
Contact here with Mankowski and Gay, my goodness. Gilly down to the inside of Mankowski, so Mankowski going to hemorrhage 3-4 spots here with that little contact. It doesn't just rattle the car, it rattles the mind, Brandon.
It does. You gotta regroup quick, Dean. It's hard to maintain pace when you're up there on the high side getting knocked into the wall. You know?
And the 97 to George Leal goes on by, and it looks like Mankowski might have found a home right in front of Newton. Newton would like to change that. He comes to the inside. Here's the move. Adam Newton looking to take away 12th spot here, and Mankowski loose.
Yeah, I like what I'm seeing here. The start of this race, everybody had great tires. Now we got 13 laps on them, and they're starting to get a loose coming out the turn, Dean. So throttle position going to be a big deal as much as steering inputs tonight, Dean. If you want to get down the straightaway to pass somebody, you're going to have to get off the corner.
Looks like Buck's blinking out there, so a little problem from Dustin Buck. Sim racing, always a danger, the old internet connection.
Always a victim of that, too, it feels like, every time I'm in behind somebody.
It'll really throw you off, Baron, that blinking in and out. You don't know where they are, you don't know where to brake, so it can mess with you a little bit.
Sure
Up
can.
ahead, looks like, is that Claus Williams? Yes, Claus making a move here under the 53 of Dustin Buck.
I'm seeing a lot more of these trucks starting to wiggle coming out of these turns, Dean. I love it.
Yeah, Paul K just wiggled a little bit. Let's hop on board with Todd the Toad Man Gilly here and have a look at what everybody's dealing with. You see Buck still blinking in and out. He's good right at the moment. Now you look at this, Baron. What are you seeing here? I mean, it's real early, fresh tires here.
Yeah, so lap 18 of 200 right now. The Toad Man's just on the ride right now. He's not really pushing his vehicle yet. It doesn't look like he's under any real pressure. A little bit of wiggle there coming out. We can see that truck get a little smaller out his windshield. But we're talking about just maintaining right now what we can. Here we can actually see steering inputs, Dean, so we can actually see this wheel and how much turn he's putting into it and how straight he's trying to come off this straightaway here.
Yeah, it's Ripka, and what I like to see here early on, especially at Martinsville, until you get into a rhythm, real rhythm style driving here, is that I like a lower entry, Baron, and get those left tires right up on that rumble.
Yeah, eventually these guys are going to start diamonding these turns, right? So the front end's going to go away a little bit. You're going to see them charge the corner. The truck will drift up a little bit in the center. They'll turn it left and then head down that back straightaway. So right now the tires are fresh enough to right along that curb.
How about Bernard Persson on the move here? He's up 4 spots into 3rd position. So Bernie, liking what we're seeing out of him, and he's kind of guy, a little bit like an Austin Miller from another series, Baron. He can roll the center pretty good.
Yeah, a lot of laps from Bernie on Martinsville. He's no stranger to this track, and he loves it. So I'm not surprised to see him here in the top 3. You know, it's good to see Bernie out here tonight too, because I heard he's been feeling under the weather. Is that what you said?
Well, in general, but I think he's been doing a little better lately, so we always think about Birdie. Hope he's doing good. Paul K comes in hard charging underneath of Dustin Buck. Buck wisely stays out there, holds his line here. I like what I've seen from Buck there. Paul K on the move.
Yeah, Paul K on the move. It looked like William Gay tried to fill that hole, but Buck got down there in time to plug it, so he's only going to lose one spot.
So Paul K. Travis running our title sponsor, the ACS Construction. Very good. The affordable construction specialists. So check them out.
I need a deck built.
Well, give them a call, Baron. I'm sure they can help you out. And I just love it when guys run our title sponsor on their car. So that's beautiful to see here.
Sure is. Love it. Hey, sponsorship pays the bills, not these race checks.
That is correct, sir. Gay and Gilly back here, and we got yellow on the track.
Trent Robinette in it.
Yeah, Robinette. So I'm not sure what's happened to the one machine here, but let's have a look at it. Lap 26 of 200. Caution on the track. The one all alone here. Here comes the Oregon machine.
Nathan Hardy here. Is it Nathan Hardy? Nope. Just lost it on his own.
That was
there.
Daniel Blow in the other one, but he had nothing to do with that. Oh, he had a little something to do with that, though.
Oops.
A little backing up into the traffic there. Dangerous. Tough to do around here at Martinsville. Tough to see.
Yeah, it's very, very hard to get your truck right, especially when the track is just filled with vehicles.
Yeah, I noticed earlier he was actually on the move quite well from starting position. He was up 8 positions before that, so I wonder how hard he was pushing his truck, and that might be the cause of him getting loose coming off a 4.
Yeah, well, quite hard. Trent, very fast race car driver, and they're maybe just a little impatient trying to make up some space on the track after making some passes. Buck hits pit road, Dibbles in, Ratliff, Tony, and Trent Robinette, Eric Whiting all take to pit road.
Lap 27, the back half of the field getting service. Kind of like what I saw, with the leaders now. Track position being a premium. If we go too long under green, Dean, you gonna be in trouble?
Well, I think it's a little early to say trouble here at Martinsville from guys who are on 25th on back who have pitted, but you never know. I mean, we're looking at fuel mileage around 100 laps here. So it pretty much an even split at this track, minus your, or plus your caution laps. But I don't see any problem for our leaders currently. Like you said at the beginning, track position's so important here. Brandon, what are you liking right now out of what you're seeing here? These guys up front look pretty content to not be too racy.
Yeah, they're being pretty smart, I think. I do believe Lance probably has a little bit more than what Greg does, so he probably could go off and take the lead, but not without a battle for sure. But being smart, taking their time, just logging some laps, getting to that first round of pit stops and all that. That's definitely the smart game plan. Now, the guys, 20th on back, they're, could potentially fall in the clutches of the leader and go a lap down, so they're probably feeling a lot more antsy and trying to move up the field, and those fresh tires will help them with that.
Yeah, absolutely it will. And, you talk a little bit about passing here, Baron. And, I personally, I've ran the track many, many a time. And a lot of it is, for me anyway, it's just about following the guy and waiting for that mistake. And sometimes you can wait for 40, 50, 60 laps for that mistake.
Yeah, depending on who you're racing around, if he's driving a tight line, it's hard to make a maneuver that's going to count. So some guys you'll see venture to the high side. You got to be real good up there to get that high side pass done.
You do indeed. Ratliff leads him down. Ripka, Person, Hund, Williams, Travis, your top 6. Green flag down and away again. Greg a little slow. They might be starting on green tonight. I'm not sure because he's not jumping anything. But the 5 with the preferred line going to get out there and get it done again. Everybody else bunched up and fighting here. Person trying to hold off Claus, or that's Hund, I believe, on the high side.
Yeah, Claus right behind him. So Claus, really shuffling forward here, Dean. Claus Williams trying to compound his winning streak, huh?
Yeah, well, you like compound interest when it's going in your direction, Baron.
Sure do. And I also like what Brandon said earlier. Brandon said Itsy with the Itsy Bitsy 200. So we are really on a roll here, Dean.
Here we go. Gilly just in front of a battle. George Leal checks up. That checks everybody up. Great job of not wrecking there by everybody. That was dangerous. And that's something you got to watch for. The early braking to avoid someone, it may cause someone to get into your rear end. It's a fine line here, isn't it, Brandon?
It is, man. And J-Man falling victim of that too, man. He's lost, what, 7, 8 spots off of that one exchange?
Yeah, I mean, that's right. John J-Man Mankowski here, rocking the outside again. So the 93, not having the night he's wanted so far, but there is a lot of time in this race. Patience always works here at Martinsville.
Yeah, it looks like he's having a little trouble getting down into the line, into the groove, and he's sacrificed some positions, and I'm wondering if he doesn't have some minor damage, keeping that truck a little tight.
Say Robinette still on pit road. Oh, and Ripka wiggles there, but he's got it under control. My goodness.
Yeah, lap 36. These are, the original set. So if you don't have, Claus losing a bunch of spots here. So if you don't have your truck on go here, you're going to get a little wiggly coming out of these turns, Brandon.
It's easy to do, man, especially, again, I don't mean to beat a dead horse here, but the track can't be up like it is. It's going to be slick coming off in corners, so really got to nurture the throttle coming out in turns.
Something tells me you wouldn't mind beating a dead horse. I'm not sure, Brandon.
The way I'm slurring my words tonight, I might have to.
Is that because of the Four Horsemen? See what I did there?
Actually, that one went over my head. We'll roll with it.
Yeah, the Four Horsemen, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, back to racing. Ratliff out front. Ripka, Person. So watch out for Bernie tonight. He looks racy, don't want to overstate it, but Bernie's been putting the foot down a little bit lately. And like you said, Baron, perhaps feeling a little better. And a good feeling Bernie's a good race car driver.
It's bad for the rest of the field.
I was going to make a statement on the caution deal. It is RGR's rule that they only go on the drop of the green, so we'll be seeing that all night.
All right, well, appreciate that update for sure. So that makes more sense because Ratliff, way too talented, past champion. He's not going to make the mistake unless he has to. So, yeah, going on green. Going to make it a little interesting later on in the race, perhaps.
I love it. It looks like, the LIE at 5 o'clock, they look like they're going slow. It looks like it's traffic on your favorite expressway at, rush hour. But boy, we saw the in-car. These boys are really busy behind the wheel.
Boy, oh boy, we got a busy chat out here in YouTube land. Perhaps we get one of our guys on that. That's too much information for me. But I appreciate everybody out there chatting. Keep it going. Love the
I saw
talk.
Scott Olson watching the broadcast again tonight. Scott Olson, a regular in these race series, and he's on vacation watching Wind Tunnel TV from a beach somewhere.
I love it. He's got a drink in his hand. I'm jealous. We got caution. Michael Ware, something's happened to 75. He's around. Nathan Hardy did crash before this, but he went to the pits. No caution. This time caution hits the track. So here we go, and it's A Bear, who'd gotten into someone earlier. He throws it way down low here. Oh, and the 75 just loses it up near the marbles.
Oopsie.
So A Bear did a good job throwing it in low and holding low. The 75 just perhaps a little discombobulated there.
Pretty big word you just used there, Dean.
Well, showing off.
We don't need to start pulling off those 4 syllables now.
All right, pit stop's in. Lots of guys coming in. Hund is in. Williams is in. Leal. You got Jason Spear in. George Leal. Mankowski. Blau. A whole slew of people on pit road. Very, very interesting.
Feeding time.
I guess we could talk more about who stayed out, and that's our top 11. So Buck, I think Buck pitted on 27, and a few of those other guys who pitted around that time stay out. And then we got our top 7 who have not pitted yet.
So let's talk about rolling the dice as we focus in here on Darren Bruce. Darren Bruce, out in front by a mile last week's race, and unfortunate incident with a lap machine. But Darren has opted for 2 tires here for that track position. So color Darren up on the move right now. He's hoping for another quick caution so he can get on the same tire cycle.
Interesting decision here with the 2 tires stop. What do you think about that, Brandon, with these trucks and everything? Can 2 tires work here?
I don't know that it's a wise choice. We'll definitely learn a lot if we pay attention to Bruce's progression from this point on. But seeing that many people go down pit road, I think tells a story about how the tires feel to the drivers. I think they are really wanting some nice sticky rubbers.
Well, I'll tell you this. The one thing I've learned about Darren Bruce, especially with pitting, is something Barron likes to harp on. He practices, and he tries these things. I wouldn't be surprised if he tried a 2-tire stop in practice and figured out whether he could do it or not before just attempting it here. So watch out for that 15.
Yeah, he's up 6 spots from his starting position, mostly because of that pitch strategy. So I'm really interested, Dean. If it was 2, maybe I was counting my fingers and toes wrong, but I think it was only 2 on that stop. And let's take a look, just so I can prove myself right or wrong.
Bruce with a, well, I don't think we're showing it here. Let's see if we can get something a little, get that pit time in there. And it looks like a 14.6. Looks like a full stop to me.
That's full stop, yeah. Okay, I was wrong. He's just good at it.
Yeah, he's pit stall and all.
He is very good at pit stops. He takes it seriously. He slides into his stall with precision. He works on entry and exit. So someone to emulate on pit road. Here we go. Ratliff and Ripka up front. Person and Travis now into 4th position. You got Gay and Toadman Gilly in your top 6. Green flag drops.
Got to stack up back midfield, though.
Yeah, that was around Bruce there, so no harm, no foul so far. Back up front, Ratliff again prevailing. Person under heat from Pole K. Travis, who's really rolling the high side. He drives it in deep, and we got caution, and Bruce is involved. 2-tire stop, sure not prevailing right now.
I don't think it was 2, right? It was 4, right?
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
So I'm a liar, but nonetheless... Let's have a look in on this wreck. You see Bruce here. He's already got the rear end packed in a little bit. He's coming in. Wow, and here comes Spear charging in and just cleans him out. So, and the 87 gets a little piece of it.
A little collateral damage there from the 87, yep.
The caution on the track, that's going to bring in our race leaders here.
Spear on spear crime right there.
It's interesting that the leaders will pit now, 1 lap later, but not pit on the previous caution. I guess they had time to think about it and regretted the decision.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're right on that. You see that from time to time. Guys are regretting that they didn't come in. I don't like this move. All these leaders did was put themselves back beyond 20th place or in that neighborhood. Very, very dangerous place to be on the track.
Well, we just saw that illustrated by what happened to Darren Bruce, right? He checks up for the cars in front of him. It's an accordion, and all of a sudden his teammate gets into his back end. That's short track racing right there. And if you're in the middle of that blank storm, right, you're going to find trouble.
Yeah, I think it was probably like the 1 lap later. I think you hit it on the head, Brandon. They second-guessed themselves, but you've already made what you think is a mistake. roll with it. You can't correct it now because you lose 15 spots in the process, at least Greg Ratliff, who lost 16 spots in this process.
Yeah, and being in the position they were in, I mean, it's going to be extremely tough to pass them regardless. You know, even on new tires, you're going to have a hard time getting positioned to make a pass on them. So it's just troubling to think that they wouldn't stick to their guns. I mean, they got another 50 laps of fuel, roughly. I mean, stay out, stick to the guns.
We're seeing a lot of rear ends, and our leader, that's Adam Newton. He's got the rear end pushed in a little bit.
Don't adjust your color, friends. That is the actual colors of that truck. Beautiful truck there. Your screens are not lying to you. That is an actual paint scheme run by the late Dale Earnhardt Sr. in 2000 at the All-Star race. We had to be taken to school. Adam Newton showing us the way on that one.
Yeah, absolutely. You're totally correct on that one as well. And he has been racing well with it. I mean, when a paint works, it works. You keep it on the truck.
Well, if you got a lucky color, he's probably got it covered on that truck.
Well, that's for certain. He certainly does. Here we go.
All those strips and paint's probably helping his lap time a little bit too.
It could be Newton. Tony Ratliff up into second. How about that? Whiting slides into third. So these guys are making big moves, up 18 and 24 spots respectively. Claus Williams, Austin Hund, your top 5. Corey Leal and George Dibble in the top 7. So some newcomers to the front. Here we go. Green flag drops. Newton away. Everybody looking fairly clean. Whiting comes on through. Tony Ratliff slides into third. Here comes Claus Williams on the outside. Boy, he is slinging that thing
Washed
in.
up the track.
He's kind of backs up to Corey Leal. Leal does a nice job of checking up there. So Austin Hund moves on through. Good job by him. Here comes Dibble, bringing the McDonald's delivery straight to you down on the low side.
Well, don't you love? I love McDonald's breakfast, Dean. It's my favorite in the whole world. Every weekend, I treat myself to a little McDonald's plate there, and happy to see the 94 rocking my favorite fast food.
Absolutely. Get yourself a little breakfast sandwich, a little sausage and egg, I guess. Adam Newton, how about Eric Whiting? What do you think about this? Whiting up here having one of the better runs he's had this season. Brandon, do you think these guys who got this track position, I mean, it looks like it's paying off great for them so far.
Yeah, they all filed in line and locked in position. I think if it stays green from here, they're going to be looking really good for the end of the race.
All right, so our top 10 or so all settled out. Leal and Blau behind Dibble here. Mankowski in 9th. George Rincon up into 10th. So all these guys doing well, while some of our tire getters are a little further back. You see Ratliff and Spear going at it, and Spear's got his teammate, Bernard Person, right behind him. Oh, and checking up on the middle lane there.
Yeah, look at that.
Gadina with a bit of a checkup. That brings Jason Spear right on through. And we got a wreck right in front of them here. Wow. So they got through. Most did, but again, no luck for the 25 A. Bear. He's involved. And the 87 of Jason Jackson. He's been involved a couple too. Not of his doing.
Darren Bruce piled up all the way to the back of the field.
Yeah, and that's the problem with going to the back. It's showing Ripka crashed here. Was Ripka involved here at the beginning of this? And he is. He gets a little knock here, and we'll see later. Bruce, all alone. He couldn't have possibly got piled into this.
No, he's just deep in the field, hanging out.
For.
Stop. Go ahead, boys. Sort it out. I ain't losing.
You had me concerned. I was like, if Bruce gets into a wreck from this far back, I don't know.
Yep, go ahead. Sort it out. We're good.
All right, so lap 62 of 200. Martinsville winning so far. I mean, it's a tough track. And here's what happens, right? I mean, we talk about it all the time. You get different tires out here on different strategies. Fast guys at the back. This kind of stuff will happen.
Yeah, I was actually expecting that run to go a little bit further green. It looked like the most order that we've seen on the track. Everybody single file for the most part. So I was surprised to see a Calkin come out there.
George Leal, lucky dog here, so he'll get back on the lead lap. The 97 looking good, and he's got the old ACS on the side. I love it. Our sponsor there, Affordable Construction Specialist. Check them out. Let's hop on over to YouTube and have a look around, and lots of guys here. Dan Gilly and Scott Olson out there. Adam Recker with wish he could be racing, and we certainly wish he could be out here as well. We thank everybody out in the chat. Gadina from his car, I don't know, texting and driving. We see that sometimes.
Talented man right there.
The Shermanator, rooting on United Motorsports. A couple of these United guys up near the front. Whiting up in second. So United Motorsports having a bit of a night here early on. Dibble's up here as well. So these guys doing well, having good runs.
And a newly formed team too. So looking to advance their positions. Dean, I love it when guys get together, put it all on the line, and they go out and all run well. Excuse me.
Absolutely. Daniel Blau up here. Dustin Buck, who was up front early, like near the front. He's still hanging around in the top 10. The 53 doing a nice job. Gadina up in 11th, having a nice run. But it's still Newton out front. Newton currently your points leader, I believe, as well. So guys will be looking to get up here and take that away from them as we're getting ready to go back green flag racing in the Itsy Bitsy 200.
Now Newton, the beneficiary of some quick cautions here, keeps him up front and doesn't allow the competitors a real shot at him.
A good start from Newton there. He gets away. A little slow on the high side was Whiting. That's going to bring Hun down to the bottom.
Yeah, he blew the tires off on the high side, stacked that top line up.
So Hun and Williams, a couple of vets here, rocking the bottom, looking to move forward. It's like Corey Leal having a nice run up in fifth, the 57 looking good. '16 still on the bottom, so Claus being patient here, trying to take on Whiting.
And Whiting giving him enough room that he can operate, and I like that. It's early in the event. It's not time to crowd the guy yet.
You look in on this battle from the car of Corey Leal. Brandon, you looking on this, like, what concerns you? What are you noticing about this battle?
Nothing's really concerning me here. I think the guys are doing a good job respecting each other on the track, giving each other, ample room to race each other. And George Leal doing a really phenomenal job, just being patient, letting it work itself out. And I think this right here is going to be a good outcome as far as racing goes.
Yeah, Williams here, you're right. They were doing a nice job respecting each other. Williams going to come through on the bottom this time. Leal will look to fill that hole. He gets in there. Got to be careful under braking here. He's in a little deep. A little hot was the 13 too. He locks him up a bit, so everybody stays clean though.
Yeah, both of them got in a little hot on that turn, overdrove the corner, and that provides room for the 94 to come in here now.
Yep, the Dibble on by, so the low side, as expected, always prevailing, and that's where, and the 13 throws it in there and shakes that rear end around.
Yeah, washing up. He's hurting the right front here, Dean.
And we're wrecking back here. James Ledford involved. There's the 48 there. He'll spin her around lap 72 of 200, bringing out the caution. So you see him all alone here. Oh, wait a minute. He's not so lonely all of a sudden. And nope, that's still a slow, lazy spin. We know that spin.
Man, that is the most depressing thing you can do yourself on a track when you're out there competing and all of a sudden you just overdrive, your talent goes out the window, and you nose it into the inside wall.
Newton is in, and he is in where others do not. Dibble, Spear, and Whiting come in. Minkowski hits pit road, but a ton of guys stay out. So Newton's going to fall back in position here. Gadina, Jackson, Rincon, George Rincon come in. So about 10 guys take to pit road. They hand the lead over to Austin Hund. So, Brandon, you look at this situation. Do you like this call from Newton and others here on lap 124? I mean, what are they thinking? Are they thinking they can make it from here?
Yeah, I was racking my brain on that, and that's the only solution I could see. I think they're going to have enough fuel to make it to the end, the lap count with the cautions and all. I believe they probably will be taking their last stop right here now.
Ledford coming in. Looks like you got a slight crab walk going on there. And, I once had a slight case of that myself back on. Well, we better leave that one alone.
Well, they sell medicine for that,
Absolutely. A little merch break, 1989. Who knows?
Brandon, what's the name of that medicine?
Give me 5 minutes and I'll look it up.
That's too big a word.
Yeah, you ain't kidding. Well, I like where Claus Williams at now, though, man. He showed he's been patient all night. He's making a few passes here and there, but keeping his truck clean. He's now sitting second. I'm interested to see how he comes off this restart.
Absolutely.
I think I got that medication. My crotch is itching.
Well, it starts with a reminiscent of penis, Baron. That'd be penicillin.
Somehow I'm not surprised you knew that.
We're going to get a comment from either Facebook or YouTube on it.
Well, just to be clear, I don't take that. I've never needed that, but a little fun up in the booth. Doesn't always hit the mark. But March break, put out a little public service announcement. It's a little helpful.
We need to put a disclaimer down there because I'm liable to cuss.
So how about this? Williams and Hund up front. Blau and Corey Leal, these two having themselves a night. Baron, Daniel Blau, Corey Leal.
Really good efforts right now, and Blau's had a night, right? He's been up and down this lineup here, and finds himself in a real good position here, almost halfway through the event.
Yeah, good stuff. We're about to go green here, and we are going green. Hund on the inside. Williams trying to hold the outside. No, he breaks early to file in, and he will file in. Blau hung out on the high side. Corey Leal looking to make a move down on the bottom. He throws it in deep here. Hard braking. He's rolling up a little bit. Good, hard racing there.
Yeah, just a nudge. Not enough to really upset the 17, but enough to get on by.
Person up on the high side trying to slingshot around the 53 of Dustin Buck. He'll do it. Here comes Ripka. He's got Gay with him. Ripka up a little bit. A little contact there.
I think that was an answer to the 53 throwing a hellacious block.
Oh, and Gay sends it deep. Comes right on by. Buck getting devastated here. Paul K. Travis comes on by. Here comes the Toad Man. Travis not quite by. Buck might have had enough of being passed here.
He's fighting hard out there. It seems like every time he gets a gap, somebody on the inside plugs the hole. He can't get down.
All right, Paul K. gets in, or Buck gets in, I should say. That settles down a little bit. Hund out front, Williams in second, Corey Leal sitting in third, Blau in fourth, Greg Ratliff up to 5th position now, and he's got Person right there with them. Ripka in line in 7th.
I think Persons has found something on that outside. He's making a lot of ground to pass people around that outside.
Yeah, Person finding a way to make that car rotate, whether it's high or low. So watch out for the 8. I'm telling you, he'll be dangerous here. And it looks like Hund has gotten the wall, lost the lead, put Williams in the lead. Oh my goodness. Let's get a replay on what happened here. So Hund out here all alone on the track. And we are under yellow flag conditions. So he just lost it on entry there. And that's how the lead went over to Claus. Hund fell to 6th. Gadina has crashed on the track. Let's get a look at that.
Maybe he's texting and driving again?
Yeah, we can't text and drive. Here we go. Oh, cuts it down low, and he just over pinches the car, over throttles it. The slow lazy spin, no damage. Gadina back up and running. So strategy continues. Blau now is in. Ratliff comes back in. Person comes back in. Hund and Gilly all hit pit road.
Crazy strategies here, Dean.
I think a lot of this is fuel mileage. I mean, I think these guys are looking like this is it. I'm not stopping again. Because track position is going to be so important. But if you still have to stop, you don't have real track position.
Yeah, you're giving away all that position you gained back. I mean, I don't understand Greg pitting the second time here after making up all those positions.
Well, let's look in on pit strategy, perhaps. Let's see here if we can find the 5 of Greg Ratliff.
Well, I'll tell you what, when they go green, Dean, I want to see one of those cool camera angles you were playing with earlier.
Absolutely. We'll get a look in on it.
See if we can get that camera to shake now.
So Ratliff here in 19th position. Looks like he pitted on 59. I can't read it, so tiny. But somewhere around there, and he's back in now. I think this is his last stop, and it's about an even pit stop, so, I mean, he's staying pretty much on strategy here.
Yeah, when you see the plan laid out like that, it makes a little more sense. I guess he came in with the game plan, he's trying to stick to it.
Shooting over to old YouTube, see what's going on. Scott Olson hanging around. Nice looking truck, Newton. Well, the Potato Man here had a little something to do with it, so he loves that truck. Everybody loves that truck. We get a look in on Newton. Not sure where Newton currently is residing, here in 15th position. But we haven't focused on our leader, Baron, Claus Williams.
Well, he's been working on it. Now he's found it there. And Claus a winner last week. See if he can go back to back, Dean.
Yes, sir. Back to back. We always say you get one. They seem to come and, in bunches here, and maybe his confidence is up. And Corey Leal, what a night for him, sitting in 2nd position. Ripka and Gay in row 2. Travis and Buck in 3. It's Tony Ratliff and George Leal in row number 4. Here we go. The Itsy Bitsy 200. Lap 90 of 200.
Cool camera, cool camera, cool camera. That's it right there. Let him go.
Well, so much for that, folks. We're wrecking back at the back here.
Well, of course we are, right? Yeah.
Not sure who was involved, but...
Like Bernard, maybe?
Yeah, Person and Jackson perhaps involved, and there they are.
Just as I was so excited about the cool camera.
You're getting a little overexcited about the cameras tonight. You sure there's no booze in that hotel? Oh, and
Nope.
Blau just gets into him on a checkup. So very unfortunate for the 8 machine.
Dean, he brought it up earlier about how putting yourself in traffic back deep like that it's risky, it's dangerous, and Bernard
Yeah,
falls victim to
it's
it.
dangerous, not like about the drivers or anything. It's just you put more cars in front of you than behind you, and you got more traffic that things can happen. So it's extremely dangerous. He got bit by it, but he's going to be all right. And looks like he's at the front, so he'd be looking for a wave around. I do believe him and Jackson both would be looking for the wave around.
Yeah, it don't look like he sustained much damage there, so he should be okay. But I'm interested to see how much spots he can make back up now. Make the high side work. Come on, Bernard.
All right, he's rooting for Bernard down in here. I like that. Newton and Bruce come on to pit road. Very interesting here as the strategies are hard to figure out tonight.
They needed that one more lap to make her mind up.
Now, Baron, you keep seeing this. I mean, is anything coming to mind why these guys are pitting like this?
Well, the only thing I can come up with is, tire feel, right? I think they're all anticipating a green flag. They're just not getting it yet. And I think they thought that maybe tires were going to be important at the halfway mark. We're not there yet, but some guys, maybe overestimating the field at this point.
Yeah, very well could be. Williams still up front. Person and Jackson still looking for a wave around. Ripka, one of your last year Xfinity champs, sitting in third here.
Yeah, I was about to make a comment on Ripka. I think he's sitting in the catbird seat.
Now, dare we challenge Brandon on what the catbird seat, where that comes from here, Brandon?
You got me on that one, Dean.
No, nobody knows, Brandon. We'll never get that answer. Put it in the comments if someone knows, but or perhaps cheats and uses Google. But an often used comment by all of us without context.
I adopted that one from old Pops, man, watching NASCAR coming up. He's always said person in catbird seat's going to be in the best position. That's usually the third person in line.
This is so confusing. Is it a cat or a bird seat? I'm not sure.
It's both. That's what's brilliant.
So Williams
That's
and
what
Leal.
that makes it really special.
Williams and Leal, Ripka and Gay, Travis and Tony Ratliff. Here we go.
Green flag, green flag.
And they're wrecking.
The yellow flag is out.
And that's a parking lot. Not much damage, but it looked like Greg Ratliff was involved in that one. Blau, Person, maybe. Maybe that's, I'm not sure. Darren Bruce involved. That was a quick stack up here, just ahead of where we're looking. And stack up, bam, Blau. That's the second time now Blau got into Bernard Person last lap, this time into Ratliff. I'm not saying it's on him, but he is the rear end toucher, the bad toucher the last couple of times, Baron. Don't make me bring out the teddy bear.
A lot of touching going on.
So as we slow down a bit here, I mean, pit strategy still available for everybody. Approaching halfway here in the Itsy Bitsy. So we got cats, we got birds, and we got spiders here with the Itsy Bitsy 200. Now, who wins in that fight?
I'm taking the cat.
Yeah, cat's pretty good. No doubt about it. Bird can fly, though. Stevie Knight hits pit road. Cadena, Ledford, Newton back in yet again. Riccone, Jackson, Spear. So we got another close to 10 cars on pit road.
Well, they come into the race with what, 5 sets of tires? I wonder if anybody's getting close to that.
Well, that's a good point. I mean, they got lots of tires for a normal race, but if you keep throwing them on the car, you might be running low here. Halfway mark in the Itsy Bitsy 200. Martinsville showing its teeth here tonight. Let's focus in here on Corey Leal one more time. I mean, Corey getting a lot of good air time here tonight. And you can see there, he's looking for sponsorship, folks. You want to sponsor a truck, reach out to Corey Leal. Get your logo up on that hood. Currently in second position.
He's looking pretty strong tonight. Man, he's treating that track position respectfully, I guess. I ran out of words there. But on the restarts, I've noticed he hasn't just challenged for the lead. I think he's actually trying to just fall in line. He lets the 16 get a good jump, and he'll fall in behind him and carry on as they get ready for the race.
It showed good patience. Patience needed here. Here we go.
Green flag, green flag.
Green flag down and away. Williams along with Corey Leal going to go into one. Ripka right there with him. Leal, good drive off the high side. He's going to have to do it again to get in position. He does. Behind him, 2 by 2. Looks like Buck right back in this thing. He's got Gay on the outside of him. Gay circling around. So the high side going to prevail. Maybe. Buck edging closer and closer. A little wiggle. He gives him room. George Leal. So the Leals seemingly loving Martinsville here, Baron.
Good effort by both of these drivers, and we're talking about sponsorship. Man, the best way to get that is have solid finishes, Dean.
That is correct. Put yourself on TV, on camera, because you're running up front and you will get sponsorship. How about John J. Mankowski riding right behind Tony Ratliff here? Tony's up 12 spots.
Nice top 10 effort by Tony. His effort has been hampered by some of these cautions, but honestly, good drive.
Here comes Gilly underneath Whiting. Whiting was having a nice night at the front. Right now, he is under heat. Behind the Toad Man, you got Jason Jackson. Jackson, a nice finish last week. Put him high up into the points. The 87 trying to battle back from 15th here. He touches the curbing just a little bit there.
That's always a hamper. That's always a big moment, too, because that truck will jump sideways. And then it's loose off the turn almost every time. Brandon, I hate hitting those curves in these Martinsville events.
Yeah, man, it really upsets whatever vehicle you're in, trucks, Xfinity, Cup. You want to get real close to it because there's a lot of time to be gained down there, especially on fresh tires. But when you do touch it, man, it sure makes you perk up.
Blau and Rincon, George Rincon battling hard here. Blau loose on the high side. He hangs on to it. Ahead of him, Bruce makes a move underneath the 86. Stevie Knight. Knight up the track, lets him go. So Ratliff and Bruce starting to move up a little bit. Up front, Williams, Leal, Ripka, Travis, Gay, all in a line here.
Oh, in the wall there. Ripka just touching the wall there.
Yeah, a little touch, no harm here for the 52 machine. Everybody getting little wiggles here. These cars a little, tough to handle here. Big line of traffic back here. Everybody's settling down and settling in.
I like this. Barely halfway. Time to get some racing done here, you know.
Looks like Whiting has blinked out and Ledford has gone around.
I
The
just booth jinxed it.
48. You know, old booth jinx coming into play, folks. You can send your letters directly to Baron Labosco.
I'm at the Marriott, Long Island.
Yeah, drop them off there. So Blau on the low side, 48's up high, gets up a little high into the marbles, and whoop, there she goes. That's an old car term there, Brandon. Whoop.
Yeah. That's got to be frustrating, though, out of the 48. You know, that's what, the second time I think we've seen him come around the corner off and get sideways like that. He's having a tough night tonight.
So lots of pitters. Claus relinquishes the lead here. Ripka comes in. Corey Leal's in. Hun, Gay, lots of good cars on pit road here. Darren Bruce back in. Now Bruce looks like he's quickly coming out. So I'm not sure if that was a gas only or maybe he's not even at his stall yet. We just bring up the pit board here. So Bruce with a 6-1 on that stop. Very quick. That's fuel or maybe right sides on that car.
Yeah, this pit stop here makes a lot more sense to me. It's within the fuel strategy run, you know, within 100 laps to go. And from this point on, if you just stay out, you're liable to come away with a good finish.
Yeah, exactly. Because, you know, now that we're halfway, you know, these guys are going to stop pitting, right, allegedly, and, you know, start racing.
I like the allegedly part of that.
Big word again.
Yeah, I don't even think I could attempt to say that one.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. How about Bernal? Trying to put back at the 4.
New race leader, Dustin Bach out here. How about Bach out of Forest City, Iowa, putting himself out here? And you gotta love that picture here, a little orange top hat. Not sure what's going on with Dustin there. Looks like he's been down to a March break or two.
Gonna have to call him the Mad Hatter.
I like the character. I like the look. Let's do this.
Absolutely. Gotta have characters in racing. Dustin putting it out there. He likes his position. George Leal sitting in second. Great run for him right now. Minkowski up to third. Person slides into fourth. And you got Gilly in fifth and Jason Jackson. So, you know, guys, you got, you know, Ratliff in there. Stevie Knight having a good run. Some guys, they look like they're struggling, and then a couple of cautions later with the pit stops, they're up here leading this thing. So things are really turning on their head. All right, another restart here. Lap 116 of 200. Buck out front, like I said. Let's see if some of these guys can handle the restart. You got a few unknowns here around the front. And Buck blinking, that's not helping. Down and away, George Leal on the high side. Everybody looks pretty good. Person fighting with Mankowski here. Mankowski gonna beat him down into the corner. Person gonna stay on the high side for now. He'll need a run to beat Gilly off the corner, and he'll get it.
How about Leal coming around the outside for the lead?
Big pass there. Big pass.
Well, I missed it. A good call there. George Leal takes on our leader, comes right around the outside. Great job by him.
Maybe he's showing us where the catbird seat really is.
Oh, very big checkup there. Locked up the rear tires.
Yeah, he did, but he really churned the corner well. Wow, almost an incident there with Jackson and Mankowski, but they survived.
Yep, a lot of bias in that 8 truck. I like it.
So put Person up to third, Buck second. George Leal, your race leader. How about the 97, Brandon?
He's looking strong. He really liked it. He went for it, got to the lead. Now he's holding on, almost pulling away a little bit.
Both Leals, I'm telling you, you get him up front, give him some clean air. That clean air is king, isn't it, Baron?
Always is. Track position means everything here at Martinsville, Dean. So if you can be out front, you don't have to contend with anybody in front of you. Drive your race.
Guys, just now, finally getting a few laps in, starting to get in a rhythm, find their way. Person in third, Jason Jackson sitting there in fourth, and then Mankowski and Gilly. You got Ratliff, Newton back in the top 10, Williams up there with Ripka, so a lot of big names, and Stevie Knight is around.
5 laps.
Rhythm broken.
We're waiting to see what the longest green flag room was tonight. So far.
Well, let's let that one go. Not
DraftKings
very
set the
long.
over-under.
So Stevie threw it in real hard on the high side there and just locked him down and slid up the track. Another caution out on the track.
Just to be clear to the viewers at home, I wasn't trying to throw shade there. I was just curious.
Absolutely. I mean, you know, it's been a lot of cautions. There's no doubt. No green flag runs. I mean, we're looking at 15 laps maybe at the outset. So it's tough on everybody out here tonight. Pit strategy of utmost importance. And you got Buck coming in with Mankowski, Gilly. Looks like Greg Ratliff. Darren Bruce is on. Spears on. Gadina, Ledford. So really can't figure out strategy here tonight. Too much going on pit road.
The strategy is fill your glass with ice, pour neatly over the top with your favorite alcoholic beverage, sip discreetly.
The dude abides. For you movie buffs out there.
The Big Lebowski. I had to call it out while I had it on top of my head.
And you know why I like George Leal being up front?
Why is that?
He's got the ACS sponsor on his truck, and he's wearing it proud tonight.
Attaboy.
Yeah, excellent call there. As it looks like Michael Ware gets a lucky dog, but let's get a look in on that title sponsor if we could.
Very clean paint scheme too. Simple, but just good. You know, just hit them all out.
Simple's good. We say it often. I mean, some guys will run just a all-white car with some sponsorship on the side, some lettering. Looks fantastic.
Dean,
Yes, Baron.
what do you call 2 ducks and a cow?
Oh, my goodness. I do
Quackers
not
and
know.
milk.
Folks, I'm just waiting for my name to be called. I'm waiting.
I wouldn't buy anything with Velcro. It's a total ripoff.
You're not a big Velcro guy?
Total ripoff. Get it? Ah! Brandon got that.
And I'm over here dying laughing.
What do lawyers wear to work? Lawsuits. Get it?
All right. Baron's on timeout. Leal and Person up front. Jackson and Newton in row 2. Williams and Ripka in row 3. Blau, Corey Leal in row 4. It's Gay and Paul K. Travis in row number 5. We're on lap 127 of 200 here in the ACS Itsy Bitsy 200.
I'm gonna try them cameras out this time.
Oh yeah, cool cameras.
Green, green, green.
Off and running. Down on the inside, George Leal trying to hold him off. I think we better get a visual on this, folks. It looks like Person trying to roll that high side.
You're no fun.
Look at this, through the center of the corner, very even. Leal holding off Person. What a job by the 97.
Good effort here. George Leal really wanting that lead, and he's going to keep it there. Bernard Person, hard charger right now, finds the hole, gets in there into second place.
Yeah, great job by both drivers there. Bernie tried, door closed, and he accepted his fate. Jackson slides into third and Person fourth. Or Newton in fourth, sorry.
Yeah, he's back on the front end of the field again, Dean. Don't look now, but he might lead some of these laps again.
A little further back, Corey Leal starting to work his way through here. Leal pitted recently here. He was out leading, so the Leals showing well. It's George out front right now in that ACS machine.
I like that move that Leo put on Persons there to secure the lead. He went into turn whatever it was, and instead of just driving in deep, he took the line away from Persons. He didn't allow him to get that good drive off, so Person forced to kind of check up to keep him making contact or anything, and that secured Leo for the lead.
Interesting line the 97's running too. Looks like he's diamonding now.
Yeah, he's driving it in there a little bit. You're right, Baron. He is drifting up a little bit in the center. And it's what you said, clean air, right, clean track. He can run this line. He doesn't have to worry about anybody on his outside, at least since Person left him. So he's trying for drive off here.
And it looks like he's getting it too, Dean. I mean, look at that drift up in the center there. Persons almost gets a nose, but then Leo comes right out of there like a rocket ship.
Well, this is great. Two different styles here. Person rolls the center so well, so he'll close up in the middle, but Leo protecting with the runoff. This is going to be interesting if we can get some green flag here to see how this plays out. A little further back, Paul K and Blau doing battle. Paul K nudging that sponsorship car right underneath. So the ACS machine's showing out here tonight.
And don't look now, there's another Leal right behind him.
Jackson makes a move on Bernard Person. How about Jason Jackson in the 87 machine?
Let's move him to second place and see what Bernie can do with him now. He's a little bit on the outsides here and looking to recover.
Yeah, something went awry there. He gave up the bottom. He lost that spot. George Leal starting to walk away a little bit.
Adam Newton showing a charge back towards the front now too. He made a couple of late pit stops, but it's showing just prevail for him here.
Well, speaking of a charge, Claus Williams charged that corner, the last one, but Newton able to stay out in front of him. The 16 looking to make some moves.
16's been fast all night, Dean. I like what I see out of that truck, and like you said earlier in the broadcast, sometimes you start getting wins in bunches, but Claus really showing some speed right now. Won't be long before he's in the top 5.
Caution out on the track. Dustin Buck around. So Buck, who has led a few laps here tonight, ends up spinning here. Let's get a look in on it. So the 53 machine coming in. Here comes Mankowski, and it's that lazy spin. We've seen it all night. Very tough. The old egg under the throttle comes to mind, and George Leal on pit road. My goodness. So our leader relinquishes a lead, and the field stays out on him. That's just not nice.
And the lead over to Jason Jackson now.
Jason Jackson, your new race leader. So one man's misfortune or not. I mean, maybe he had to pit, but he certainly thought someone would come in. That is, the whole field staying out. Very unusual, as Leal will be way back in traffic now. How about this 87, though? I mean, Brandon, Jason Jackson, last week, good finish. He's hanging around the top 3 in points right now. I mean, relative newcomer, not a lot known about him. What do you think of Jason Jackson?
Well, much like everybody else, he's so new. I don't know a whole lot about him, but he's showing that he comes with a great amount of skill. He's sitting top 3 in points and all tonight, leading late. Maybe he can come away with another strong finish and advance that position on the points board.
So you see Michael Ware getting a lap back there, getting a lucky dog. Now, Baron, have you ever known a lucky dog? Or a dog named Lucky?
Yeah, it's me. Yeah, I'm pretty lucky.
And you're a bit of a dog.
I'm a bit of a dog, yeah. Got that going for me.
Oh boy. Don't start barking, Baron. Lap 142 of 200 here in the ACS Itsy Bitsy 200. Jason Jackson out front, Person in second, Newton third, Williams in fourth. It's Ripka in fifth, Travis, Corey Leal, Gay, Hund, and A. Bear your top 10. As some familiar names start to stack up the top 10. You said ice cubes or no ice cubes, Baron?
Ice cubes. Yeah. Ice cubes. Speaking of ice cubes, Dean, why did the pony ask for a glass of water? Because it was a little hoarse.
Oh boy. Comedy from Mr. Baron the Bosco.
It's not good comedy, but it's comedy.
Again, that's at the Marriott Hotel.
Long Island.
So Jackson and Person ready to do battle. Newton and Williams gonna see what they can do from the second row. Ripka hanging right there with Travis.
Green flag.
Green flag down and away. Jason Jackson. Oh, Bernie on the high side, wiggling and wobbling as he spins those tires. Newton's gonna drive right on through. Claus gonna try and follow suit. The 8 has to get down somehow. No room.
Claus Williams jumps in front of Lance Ripka. If there was a hole, it wasn't much of one.
Gilly, something's happened to Gilly, and he is in the middle of the track. He's going to get going, though. We stay green.
Praise Jesus.
So Williams still working on Person here. He's got the preferred line. Person trying to roll the high side. Can't quite turn it. Williams up to third. Here comes Ripka. So Ripka's Person stuck on the high side, hemorrhaging spots. He may want to just give this up and get behind him before he gets freight trained here.
Bernie losing another spot. Yeah, they're lined up on him. That's tough.
That is
It's a defeating feeling. Been there. We've all been there, right? They just line up on you like rockets, and they just keep going on by.
At Martinsville, there's not a lot you can do. You just got to take your medicine sometimes and lose 5 or 6 spots. It's just the way it is. Jason Jackson, though, doing a nice job up front.
Yeah, Bernie found a hole he got in there, but sacrificed a lot of track position he's going to need to make up in the next 50 laps or so.
We're going to hop on board here, Brandon, with Jason Jackson. Just tell us what you see. I mean, I love seeing these, an unknown driver up front, clean air, and just tell us what you're seeing.
It looks to me like he's being really smooth on the wheel, easy off, easy in, taking his time on the throttle down the straights, and it's producing time. He's pulling away from the field. He might be a surprise newcomer to RGR.
Yeah, it looks like a real smooth ride here for Jason Jackson. Not seeing a whole lot of extra movement out of him.
A really nice wheel input, easy throttle response. He's making up track time on the rest of the field, which is the most important thing here, right? Claus is closing in, but if he's only got one guy to run with, that's a whole lot better than 12.
Well, it just shows you that clean air. I mean, you put anybody out front, they have an advantage. You don't always take advantage of it, but it certainly helps. And Jason just showing, hey, you put me out here, I'll show you how fast I am. I mean, he's opened up a 1 second gap here, and it's another second back to third.
Yeah, good effort here.
Definitely helps not having somebody crowding your mirror too. There's a big distraction a lot of times in the short tracks or anywhere really to have somebody just on your bumper every corner, especially in the open zone.
Yeah, you're right, Brandon. And look, Claus Williams is going to get to that bumper. He's shaved off two tenths just the time we were talking about it. So Claus Williams is coming. But again, one car better than 12 to deal with.
And something Brandon brought up there, Brandon, that's something I like to do to people to distract them. Is get right up on their bumper, and also on entry, a little high to low action. When they look in their mirror, it looks like the car behind them is dancing all over the track. It can throw some guys for a loop.
Fun fact, law enforcement uses that on the highway. They'll crowd yellow line to make
Oh, and person's wrecked. We'll get back to the law enforcement. Gay gets into them. They're stacking up here. No caution. Everybody keeps going, but it's a major, major stack up. Blau takes advantage, drives the Oregon Duck machine right around the outside. Person trying to hang on.
I got to tip my hat to that whole crowd out there. They done a fantastic job not to make that worse than what it already is.
Yeah, good hands there all around, yeah.
Yeah, everybody braking and doing the appropriate thing. We stay green flag here. And let's get back to that law enforcement there. Oh, I seen Blau up high losing control of the machine. And he's got it back. So, guys, keeping it under control as Jason Jackson still leads. The law enforcement, now, how do they use that, Brandon?
They offer the crowd the yellow line or median. They just don't want us to talk about law enforcement.
Darren Bruce
That's correct. Darren Bruce in the wall. Caution on the track. There'll be no law enforcement talk from now on.
I'm not speaking on it anymore.
So Bruce on that high side, very dangerous up there. That's exactly what will happen to you. And even the likes of Bruce gets caught by it.
A lot of bias in that thing in the back end come around on him.
Yeah, that's right. And, a track like this, I like to dial it back to something neutral, Baron. I was talking a little bit earlier about it with someone, and just they had the lower brake bias, and we just got them in a more neutral position where all four tires kind of working together. You can still dial it down as you get a little more comfortable, but guys out here tonight, there's no time to get in a rhythm. So I wouldn't, that low brake bias can be your enemy out here.
Yeah, I think he was... look, he charged that corner on the outside. He's clearly got a decent truck, and it looked like he was content to be on the outside, but I think he just got away from him. He was going to pick up 3 spots if he made that corner.
Well, yeah, that's one way to look at it. Jason Jackson out front doing a whale of a job. The 87 machine impressing. Looking to take a win, looking to maybe take the points lead. Last week's winner, Claus Williams, right there. Points leader, right there in third. Xfinity champ Ripka in fourth. So the top of the field stacking up with all the tough competition with Travis, Hun, Abear, and Gay in your top 8. You got Corey Leal, who's looked good, and George Rincon in your top 10. Dare I bring up Macho Man again?
Snap into a Slim Jim.
The cream of the crop. God, I gotta... Thank you. I need to find my inner Macho Man here. Maybe need a testosterone shot in the butt, Bear.
Or 2 in our case.
Correct. Blau back in 11th. You got Mankowski, George Leal, Greg Ratliff back here, Buck, Stevie Knight, Person, Gadina, Whiting, Ledford, your top 20. Jason Spear on pit road. So Spear down there getting some service done. Looking on our pit board here, and he's been in here for a good little bit now. See that engine still cranking, so that's not a retirement, that's some repair work going on down there. He's down and away. There's our leaders.
Good, he kept it on the lead lap.
Lap 162 of 200, 38 to go at the line. Jason Jackson trying to hold him off.
Getting down to it here, aren't we, Dean?
We are indeed. Let's hop on board with Paul K. Travis for this restart.
Green flag, green flag.
Green flag down and away. Pretty orderly here at the front. You can just see how treacherous it is under braking here. Cars everywhere. Different braking points can be very difficult. Travis trying to hold that low line. Newton trying to fight off Williams, but Williams wins that battle. There goes Ripka looking around the high side.
The yellow flag is out.
And yellow flag out on the track. We got carnage out
my
here.
goodness. Tons of trucks.
Buck's involved. 28
Everybody.
is involved,
Oh.
and he hit something phantom object down there.
Tears the rear end off of it.
Greg Ratliff involved. So Ratliff in person here, coming down into the corner. In front of them, contact. Looked like Corey Leal got into the 28 machine. The 53's around. That was George Rincon who got hit, and seemed like a phantom object hit him as well. He's not going to be too happy. I think someone threw something at him. Some bad fans up in the stands tonight, misbehaving.
Remember that Talladega race where Jeff Gordon got pelted by beer?
That's what I was thinking.
Talk about bad fans. I love that track, and I was at that race.
Were you throwing beer is the question.
I was way too far.
Did you participate?
I was way too far. I don't care what kind of an arm. You'd have to be Tom Brady to hit the track from where my seats were.
Question is, did Dale Jr. really win that race or not?
You know, I don't remember it was that far, and it was that long ago, and I'll be honest with you, I was drunk.
You don't say.
Shocking development on that one, right?
Yeah, shocking development. Now, Baron, when you get in there, how well can you pack the beer to slide it into the little hole that you're allowed to have?
It's not like that at Talladega. Run what you brung, buddy. You can bring as much of a cooler as you can carry.
Oh, boy, you can hear the excitement in the voice.
Yeah. Whatever you carry up the stairs, you get to drink. Yeah, so it's...
Now, golf carts aren't allowed, you know. You can't...
they all allowed on the outside of the track.
Fair enough.
Which is where I camp.
Good times down there at Dega. Make sure if you haven't been to one of these big NASCAR events you go, certainly going to have some fun out there. And not always the racing that produces the fun. So 32 to go down, and you know, this is familiar when we've gotten in some of these styles of races. I mean, you want to be the race leader. Barron, like, I mean, he may have 5 more cautions here. He has just got to get out to a lead, hold it for 3 or 4 laps each and every time.
Yellows breed yellows, Dean, and this has been the truth in this race tonight. And what we're looking at right now is a leader right now clinging because if we get some green flag runs, I think the 16 or the 2 might have something to say about who wins this race.
Well, they might, but I mean, like, everybody amps up later in the race is all I'm saying. At this point, I don't expect it to get cleaner. So, you know, advantage Jason Jackson, but do not sleep on Claus Williams. Newton and Ripka in 2. It's Hund and Travis in row 3, and Aber and Gay in row 4. Here we go.
Green flag, green flag.
Green flag, another good start through the gears. Williams a little better on the outside. So Claus trying to power around, can't do it. Jason Jackson, good corner. Here comes Newton. Newton throws it in deep, can't hold it. He's drifting up. My goodness, that was dangerous.
Full send.
So Williams prevails and tries to nose in on Jackson. He can't hold it. Does get a good diamond and a good run though. So these two, Jackson and Williams, off and fighting. Whoa, Williams sends it again, rubs the back end, and then loses his front end. I told you, they're amped up, but they're surviving, Brandon.
Yeah, Jackson handled that really well too. Seeing that 16 truck coming as hard as he was going into the corner, he didn't miss a beat. He just kept on riding.
And he's opened up a bit of a lead from that hard little fight. So Jason Jackson doing everything right. He just set the fastest lap of the race.
Big run. Big run.
Jason Jackson not messing around. My goodness. He was 4/10 faster than second place on that lap. Crazy. Blau fighting with Person trying to pick up some spots. Oh, and someone's around. That's Whiting up into the wall. Caution. Lap 174.
Those marbles are unforgiving.
Same old story here. High entry gets loose and the car just comes around. I mean, there could be contact. We'll see here. Nope, that's send. We see it all the time. You come in too hot on that line, you're going around. Right now, we're going to take a short commercial break. When we come back, we'll have about 25 laps remaining.
So here we go for round two. Can we throw 2 hours and 40 minutes onto the clock? They'll crest the hill, they'll dive down into the S's. 4 wins in 4 races for the Apex Racing team.
Back here live, 23 to go. We're here for the conclusion of the ACS Itsy Bitsy 200. Jason Jackson, your leader. Claus Williams second. Newton, Ripka, and Travis, your top 5. Hyundai Bear, Gay, Mankowski, and Corey Leal back in 10th. How about Corey? Recovering nice from that pit stop he made. Back up in the top 10. I seem to have lost my co-host. Baron, thoughts?
23 laps to go, Dean, here at this exciting event here at the Itsy Bitsy 200. And can Jason Jackson pull off the first win of the season?
Well, he's been awfully good, and I think he can do it most definitely. I mean, he just turned the fastest lap of the race in that short little green flag run, so he's got the speed. Williams, though, we've seen how aggressive he's being, Brandon. He wants this thing.
He does. I think he's going to put up a good fight here on this restart and try to hang it outside the best he can. If not, he's going to put the heat to the 87 of Jackson.
Here we go. Jackson leading him down. Williams trying to match him here. And, well, I don't know. It's a very close start there. Jackson gets out in front. Here comes Newton. Wow, big send by the 16 on the high side. Good job hooking the corner. So the 16 really good on these restarts. Manages to hold off Newton, and he crosses over looking to beat Jackson. Jackson drives in real deep. Cause him trouble. There goes Williams off the nose of the 2. We're under caution. Chain reaction there from the big dive into the 16. Jackson had to overdrive the corner to protect. Then the 16 come up under Newton and got into him. And you see Newton almost hit the 16 under braking. Now gets under him and he clips him there. I mean, wow. So you read that how you want to read that, folks. Tough racing late in the race, and I think the 16 got the short end of the stick there.
Well, Dean, from my point of view, it looked to me like the 16th thought he had a nose on the 87. Maybe not, but he probably didn't realize the 2 was so far in on him as well.
Yeah, a lot going on in those couple laps. We probably didn't see enough of it, but there was, some prior things that had happened there that probably got the minds a little off kilter, and the braking points definitely thrown out of whack. So guys are racing hard with 19 to go, boy. They're not too worried about just having a points night. They want to win this thing, Baron.
Well, they sure do. Who doesn't, right? With 19 laps to go, pay window's open, Dean.
Pay window's open. You got to be alive to get paid, though. Jason Spear, your lucky dog, he'll be back in this thing on the lead lap. Currently shown in 25th, so he'll be looking to make up some time here, make up some positions.
I've been thinking it a lot on the last couple of restarts. Hadn't quite spoke on it yet, but Paul Travis is having a pretty solid second half of this race. He's sleeping in top 5. He's got bird's eye view of the top 3 here, and he could pounce at a moment's notice. If the leaders start crossing each other up again, he could be there to steal this thing.
It's a great bring up, Brandon, and I like what 88. You know what I like is I haven't called on his name involving wrecking or braking or aggressive driving. Patience. Martinsville will reward the patience. Him and Ripka seemingly have had it. Here they are, 3rd and 4th. It's a great call. Paul K. Travis, great night running that ACS machine. Right behind him, Hund, who had, I think, trouble early in the race, sitting here in 5th now, so good recover from the 95. So as we approach the witching hour here, Baron, what do you know about the witching hour?
Oh, I know it's time for bed there, Dean, and I don't know if the witches are going to be with me or not.
You sound like you're old. The witching hour's time for bed. What?
That I am.
Jason Jackson out front. Newton will be on the outside this time. Williams, unfortunately, will slide to 24th position. Ripka and Travis in row 2. Hund and A. Bear in row 3. It's Mankowski, Gay, George Leal, and Corey Leal. The battle of the brothers back in row 5.
Green flag, green flag.
Green flag drops. Jason Jackson down and away. Newton with a good start on the outside, trying to hook that high line. Can't do it. Jason just too strong on the bottom. Here comes Ripka. Ooh, Newton cuts him off, a little beating and banging, but they survive. Paul K up the track.
Yeah, look at this run on the outside, Dean.
Oh, look at this wreck at the back.
Yellow flag.
Corey Leal going backwards down the track.
Looked like Corey was trying to get out of that traffic jam.
He was. He said, "I can see you because I'm looking at you from straight out my windshield. I'm going to keep going backwards." Here you see Mankowski and a couple others get together. Checkup ensues, and bam, it's on. Lots of damage, lots of cars there. Your McDonald's burger is currently stuck in traffic.
You know, Dean, I didn't know I could read the future a little bit here, but I don't know if you noticed, but the 88 just about got the lead off of that.
Yeah, I think, Baron, you were touching on the run on the outside. What were you about to say there?
Well, he had a great run on the outside before the caution came out, and he had Newton pinned down to the inside, was on the charge. But we are burdened by cautions tonight, and any good runs are being spoiled.
Yeah, this is true. The 88 doing all he can up here. Again, I highlight the 88 and the 52. I like what I've seen out of them. Of course, Jason Jackson leading this thing, doing a whale of a job. And you've got the beautiful car, the number 2, the points leader, Adam Newton in there. So these 4 have been strong all night. You know, there's nothing itsy or bitsy about this spider web here at Martinsville tonight. It's catching a lot of flies.
Yeah, the spider ain't gonna go just sleep tonight, hungry. He's got plenty of Crazy.
He'll wrap up a lot of those for snacking later on.
Oh, yeah.
Person back in 11th. You got Ledford, Gadina, Ratliff, Buck, Bruce, Ware, Claus Williams, Tony Ratliff, George Dibble, top 20 there. Mankowski's found his way back into the top 10 along with Blau. Corey Martin, a little shout out on the commentary. We appreciate you, Corey. We're working hard up here tonight in the booth.
Almost breaking a sweat.
What do you mean,
Not
almost? I mean, I don't want to talk about my lower region area, but I might start if we don't finish this thing.
It's running late. Hopefully we don't get no green light checkers or nothing. We can get this thing over with.
Well, you know, let's let it play. Jason Jackson out front here. Newton in second. Travis, Ripka, Hund. How about A-Bear? A-Bear's been through a night here, sitting in 6th position, Baron.
Yes, he has. We've seen him up and down this field tonight, Dean. And so 6th place is up 10 spots from his starting position. Car's banged up, but the driver's still ready.
All right. Getting ready. All lined up. 2 wide. Now, we said it earlier. I mean, we knew this is going to happen this late in the race. Jackson just needs good restarts. Boy, he's been doing it. He's been getting them. And right now, he's got Newton to contend with. Newton did a nice job on that high side last time. We'll see if he's got anything for Jason Jackson.
Green flag, green flag.
Green flag down and away. Both guys a little slow getting up there. Paul K looking on the bottom. Newton hanging on tough on the high side. Trying to get a run. He does. Newton slinging around the high side of Jason Jackson. Little contact perhaps at the line right now. It's Newton. 7 to go. Here comes.
Reproduce that. Yeah, if he could reproduce that for 6 more laps, he'll win this thing.
He definitely could. The 2 looking strong, but Jason Jackson too good on the bottom. Maybe he drifts up, cuts off Newton. That brings Paul K underneath of Newton. Paul K just set the fastest lap of the race, and he get into Newton, shaking and baking. Newton shuffled out. We're under caution. Ledford is around.
Again.
My goodness, that was some hardcore racing up there. Let's get a look in on this. Maybe we'll go back and look at some of that shuffling and beating and banging up there. See Gadina behind Ledford. Ledford, lazy spin to the inside.
Him in turn 2 is not getting along tonight.
So we'll try another replay here if we can get some of this action here. We're going to back it up a little bit, folks, and see exactly what happened here. Maybe go on board with Paul K here for a minute. You see here, Newton on the high side. He's trying to come down. A little bobble from the 87 gets him out of sorts. That allows Paul K to get under Newton after he checks up. And then this corner, there's also some incident. As Newton gets a little wiggly, I think, and so does the 88. Hard to tell exactly what happened there.
He got a little loose, and that provided an open door for these guys to go on by.
Is a little wiggly an official term?
If we're running on the Itsy Bitsy, you could use wiggly and antsy all you want to.
10-4.
I tell you, I think Jackson was just getting a sigh of relief to see that separation between him and the 2, because the 2 was putting the pressure on him hard.
Oh, no doubt. I mean, you know what I liked out about it, Brandon, is he held his composure, realized he's in the preferred line. As long as Newton didn't clear him on the high side, the low side probably going to prevail if he can just do solid laps.
Yeah, hats off to him for holding that composure too, because it's getting 3 laps to go now. He's got to be heart pounding, hands sweating, tired. He's running on edge right now.
He is, and I gotta think. I mean, you got Ripka and Travis there behind him, and or Travis on the high side, Ripka right behind him. I think he likes that. I think these are two very points-orientated, calm drivers, and this might be good for him. But I'm not putting anything on the 88, Paul K. Travis here. He might go for this thing. He's got that title car, the ACS machine, up there into second. He can sniff this win. He might try and steal this thing right here.
It's hard not to go for it, especially with that grandfather clock sitting there waiting on you.
I like me some grandfather clock, folks. The pace laps just get everybody amped up and ready to go. You see guys rolling in, taking their brakes, heating them up. Jason Jackson, one more time for the 87. Can he get it done? Green flag down and away. Good start from him. Ripka trying to follow through. A little slow through the gears. Paul K. full send on the high side. Trying to hang on to it. Great job there. He's slinging it around the high side. Again, takes it in deep. The 88. He's got a bit of a run here. 2 to go. Coming down to 1 to go.
We've seen it before, Dean. Paul was making up a lot of time on that outside before we got that caution. Can he do it again, Dean?
Oh, a little wiggle there. Jason clears him. The 87 down into 3, through 4. Jason Jackson going to win the Itsy Bitsy 200. Paul K. will come into second. Lance Ripka third. And there was some kind of carnage in there that we missed.
Looked like Hun got a little loose coming off of 4.
So the 87 puts this one to bed, and he'll be in victory lane. Jason Jackson going to be a very, very happy man. Right now, we're going to take another commercial break. We'll come back. We'll get some racing. All right, the old 87s machines live and iRacing these days. They're a blast. Go try them. Brandon, eventful evening here at Martinsville.
Yeah, them boys had troubles tonight. That spider web of the Itsy Bitsy 200 it swallowed them up tonight.
Man, you gotta watch out for those spider webs, man. They're thick. You look in on our results here, and you can find your favorite driver and where they finished this evening. Of course, lots of struggles for some good drivers out here. Lots of wrecks. So we just briefly look through that list. Why don't we get right into race interviews here, and we'll bring in Mr. Lance Ripka. Third place finish in what was a tough night all around. You showed the patience. You were calm. You ended up here in the top 3. Congratulations, Lance.
Thanks, Dean. Appreciate it. It was a tough race.
Yeah, I mean, definitely is. Now, what do you do when you got a race like this, Lance? I mean, there's pit strategy, but it's flipping left and right because you don't know where the runs are going to come, where the cautions are going to come. At some point, you've got to just say, "I'm done pitting," didn't you?
Yeah, it's basically what it came down to. With the amount of cautions, track position was more important than tires, I think. So the decision after I hit the fuel window was just to stay out, and where we finish is where we finish.
How are you feeling about the car tonight, the truck, I should say, and getting around this tough paperclip here?
Well, some of the steering adjustments we made for the looseness at the beginning of the race, I think, was kind of fighting me at the end. It got pretty tight coming off the corners, so it was a little bit harder to get that run off to maybe get a nose under going into the corner. But for the most part, the truck was pretty good.
You sound a little down, Lance, to be expected, I guess. But third place, I mean, a good points night here tonight.
I was sick this morning, so I'm kind of not feeling the greatest right now. But then these cautions kind of drug this one out a little bit, you know. And yeah, I mean, third place is great. I mean, I'm not upset about the way I finished. I'm just not feeling that great.
I hear you, and it is tough out here on a long night like this, sitting in the rig. We'll let you get going, Lance, but you're in great position. Great finish, man. Congrats on your third place.
Thanks, Dean.
All right, that was Lance Ripka there, Brandon, and I believe you're down with Paul K. Travis.
Paul, we got you up here in the booth, man. How coming away tonight, second place. Hard charge at the end, though, trying to get that lead. I seen you were just willing really, really hard trying to get that win. You had to be on the edge of your seat, man. Can you tell us a little bit more about how that rush was at the end of that race?
Us four was really going at it for about the last 25, 30 laps, and I seen Adam and Jason kind of get together, and I seen an option to get to the inside of Adam, and I still hope I didn't push up into him. I haven't gone back, looked at the replay, and if I did, I'm really, really sorry, Adam, if you can hear me. But I was looking for my first top 3 finish this season in these trucks and trying to dig out of a hole. And, man, I'm going to tell you what, I was damn near shaking them in my boots over here for the last 10 laps.
I hear you, man. We could tell it was a great race between the top 4 of you guys, man. As far as the incident between you and Newton, I think it was both just a racing thing. One came up, one came down. But overall, man, excited for you. Excited for your ACS being on the truck, getting a lot of TV time up front. And
Brandon, if I may, Paul, you rocking the high side there, you know, late in this race. We seen you moving around on the high side a little bit and starting to really make it work. Like, what was the key to getting it done up there? Because we've seen a lot of guys try that high side, entering in maybe a little higher, and then they would instantly break loose. What was the key to running that?
Dragging that brake, you'd actually have to dive it in pretty hard just to stay with that inside car. And if you didn't drag that brake, that back end would come around. You couldn't pick the throttle up real good. And it seemed like as the race went on, I felt like I had more grip, and I kept pushing a little bit harder and a little bit harder. And she stuck a couple times on the high side. I even told my teammates, William Gay, and them, and I said, hey, look, if I can get a run on the high side, I think I can get this thing to stick, and we got a shot at winning this thing.
You really did, and you gave it all, man, Paul. We were impressed. And not only that, you're running the title sponsor, ACS. That's got to make it extra happy putting that sponsorship out on the air and almost into victory lane. Congratulations on second, Paul. Any shout-outs or anything, you go right ahead, my friend.
Yeah, I want to thank ACS, Mike Brown and Shannon Brown for allowing me to put my name or their name on the car. I work for the company, and they're a great group of people. They've come on board, as you know, as a sponsor. But I want to thank ACS Construction and all them, and also I want to thank RGR. If it weren't for Todd and these guys, dude, we would have boring ass Thursday nights. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, that's a great comment. That's Paul Travis, second place here tonight. What a night for him, but there's only one guy who had a better night. The 87, Jason Jackson, up 17 spots, sitting down in victory lane, sipping champagne. Got a fresh grandfather clock beside him. How we doing, Jason?
I'm doing great.
I mean, great, my God, a hell of a victory out here. Tough race, you know, these type of races are tough to battle through and stay focused. What were you thinking there? You had Paul K on your outside, you had Claus Williams up there fighting, you had Newton up there fighting. What were you thinking there down on the inside lane and all these restarts?
Just thinking that I needed to get a good restart and just kind of get down into turn one without sliding the tires and get up off of two and clear them and just get with it.
I mean, was it just hold your line and be patient? Because we did see a guy, a couple of them kind of nose in front of you, maybe even at the line out of court, but it just seemed like you were just not willing to over chase it or overdo anything. You're just going to stay consistent. Is that accurate?
Yeah, I think just the key to here is not to overdrive the entry on the going in. If you kind of go in kind of slow, I know it kind of messes up the other guy to where they can't get a run on you, and then you can put the gas down and kind of pull up even, or even pull ahead of the guys on the outside.
Well, Jason, you're going to move up in the point situation here, I believe, up into 5th. So a great points night here. Are we thinking championship run this season?
Boy, I don't know. It's still a long season, and there's a lot of things that can happen between now and then, but it definitely gives me a shot at it.
Well, you put your name on the top of everybody's list here, Jason. Relative newcomer out here, at least us in the booth. You did a whale of a job getting the victory here at Martinsville. Can't wait to see what you do next week and the rest of the way. We'll give you the floor here. Anybody you want to shout out? Any sponsors you'd like to thank, please do.
The Custom Works RC Cars, they're a personal sponsor of mine. I race for them in RC cars, and I put their names on the truck here. And then there's the GDR bunch over that I normally race with on Sundays, and there's Doug Canham that does all my graphics and stuff. But I really like to thank this league, the RGR League, for accepting me in. This is only the 3rd race that I've been in, and it feels pretty good to win a 3rd race in a league. So it's been pretty exciting.
Absolutely. It was exciting watching you. Brandon, that's Jason Jackson putting on a bit of a show at times, pulling away. He might have won a green flag, but he'll take the cautions too because he ended up in victory lane.
Yeah, couldn't ask for a better night for him, man. He ran a smart race, kept his head on straight, kept the truck out front. That's the recipe for a victory.
That's it. You see our updated point situation. Unofficial. Looks like Newton holding a 1-point lead over Ripka, Hun, Person. Jackson moves up. You got Claus Williams slides a little bit. Gay, Abear, Mankowski, and Greg Ratliff in your top 10. And we look forward to seeing what's going to happen next week. We'll have all that coverage every Thursday at 9 p.m. It's RGR Racing. But for myself, Dean Doucette, for Mr. Baron Labosco, and Mr. Brandon Bass, that's going to wrap it up here from Martinsville. And we'll see you right here next time on Wind Tunnel TV.